Nicky.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
Fine. Hilarious to see you on this foggy day. So everyone, this is me teaching one of my oldest friends, my old very naughty flatmate from the London days, how to knit. Because sadly she failed she's quite old now and she's only just learning how to knit. So we are going to, in lesson 1, learn how to cast on. We hope that it may help other people, but let's give it a crack and see what happens. Are you ready, Nicky?
I'm really ready, and I'm glad I'm one of your oldest friends because you're one of my older friends.
Thank you. So you should have got a box sent to you through the post, which contained number 1, a pattern, which I think is the first thing that slightly scares people, and number 2, some needles, which we in the UK we talk about in terms of millimeters. This is 5.5 mil. It's very hard to see in this light, but you should see it scribbled on the side, and all that means is the width of the needles.
Okay.
And the general rule is the thicker the yarn, the bigger the needles.
Okay.
So socks, for instance, you use very thin needles and very thin yarn. So the first thing we do is we take our ball of yarn, which is a thick yarn, and you can take the whole band off and you can start knitting from the outside. But one of the biggest tricks I learned was to knit from the inside. So we take the yarn like this.
So I take it out from the middle.
Yeah, and you'll probably end up taking, a clump, and then just pull out a clump like this because you're going to get through it anyway. Great. Is that okay? So in your hand, you should have the end.
I haven't yet.
Okay, we'll keep pulling then. When you get to when there's just one piece, this could take some time.
I seem to be pulling everything but the end.
No, that's okay. You'll get to it in the end. Mine came out because I pulled a block out. I put my hand in and pulled the block out.
Oh, so you better to do that.
Yeah, and then you can just find the end.
Okay, right.
Okay, so now
well, you've made it particularly tricky to find the end.
Well, I didn't realize I thought this would be the easy part.
I feel like a kitten.
I think it does show that knitting, you always feel everything about knitting and any kind of craft feels easy when you've done it forever. Right, so have you got your end?
I've got my end.
Good, okay, and you've got your 2 needles, I see, which is great. So the first thing we do...
My left hand or my right hand?
Well, we're just going to do a slip knot, so don't worry about that. Put the needles down for 5 seconds, and then you take the end of the yarn, you wrap it loosely around your finger, and then take that bit that's still on it and put it through the loop, and you end up with a slip knot, which you may have done in other scenarios in your life. Well done! So take that, put that on your needle.
And tighten it?
Yeah, tighten it. So Nicky and I are both we're both right-handed. So we've got, obviously, I think you've worked out we use 2 needles. You have put your you put your yarn onto your left needle. Now your left needle is really, if you're right-handed, it's your holding needle. So you're going to work always with your right needle and you just hold with your left. So there's so many different ways to hold a knitting needle, but the classic way is you put your hand on it like that. Perfect.
Like a bridge.
Yeah, like a bridge. Yes. Or a fork that you were holding badly. But anyway, so the next thing we do, I will always be talking about putting the working needle, which is your right hand needle in our case, goes through the loop. So needle through the loop.
Back to front or front to back?
Front to back. What we're doing is we're doing a cast on. We're going to cast on, and there are several cast on methods. I'm going to teach you the methods I was taught when I was about 6 or 7 when I learned. And the first row you cast on is the number of stitches depends on the pattern. Well, we're just making a basic hat and we're going to cast on 70 stitches, okay? So you put the working needle, your right hand needle, through the loop front to back,
Yes.
Then you wrap your needle, the yarn round the needle, which comes round the working needle, from underneath it to over the top between the two needles, yes?
Okay.
And then you do what we say is we take the right hand needle back through the gate with that loop. The loop you've just made should now be on the right hand needle.
So that the right hand needle's on the top now.
Yes. Perfect. Then you take that right hand needle and you take... Yeah, well, no, you keep the yarn on it. It's quite loose. You're pulling it loose, and you take that right hand needle and you put the left needle through it. So I'm going to do this slowly again, just in case. So through the loop, round the needle.
I think maybe I should be the teacher, Em, because I think you're not helping people.
And then twist that onto. I mean, that you did pick it up very quickly. Through the needle, round the loop, back through the needle.
It's probably because I used to watch you doing it.
Do you think?
And our other good friend Louise.
That's true. Round the needle, back through the loop.
She was better than you.
She was not better than me. She was very good, actually. She did a very nice jumper with bobbles on for her then boyfriend, who she's now married to.
That's very true. It was mustard colour.
You see that? I knew I hadn't imagined it was mustard colour.
You're so rude. I will go and dig out a picture and send it to you.
Yeah, we'll add it to the end of this video.
Oh golly, what have I done wrong?
So what you could do, I mean, I'm nowhere near 70. I doubt you are you?
I don't know. Are you impressed?
I am beyond impressed. This is your first ever knitting. I was going to start you off on the beginner's hat, but you're so good. I think I might put you onto the easy hat rather than the beginner's hat.
Golly. I used to do French knitting with one of those little dollies.
So did I. My dad made me my French. I've still got mine.
Have you really? Oh.
Were you a child? Are you talking about when you were a child you did French knitting?
Yeah.
Because you can.
When I tried to pretend I wasn't a tomboy.
Well, that worked.
Oh, you're always so mean.
It's quite hard I imagine, when you've got 3 brothers, though, isn't it?
Exactly. But
oh my gosh, I wonder who's going to get to 70 first.
I think I probably will. This can't be very exciting in terms of what we're doing, Ems. I think. So, are you going to edit this?
Well, I'm going to now you've said that.
Because I tell you, watching you, this is worse than watching paint dry.
I think I might edit all your comments out. Not the
Yeah.
Amazing. You're the most natural knitter I've ever met. You cast on with like a pro, and then you don't even have to count the number of stitches.
Just so talented, as always.
Beyond reason. Well, this is very exciting.
Is that the end of my first lesson?
Yeah.